when the bully picks the wrong target. 5 seconds later, everything changed.
What happens when the school's most notorious bully puts his hands on the wrong black girl? He thought she'd shrink, thought she'd cower, thought she'd play the victim. Instead, in less than 5 seconds, the balance of power shifted, and the bully who owned the hallways of Ridgewood Academy was left begging for mercy. Stay tuned. Ridgewood Academy wasn't just any private school. It was a fortress of wealth and reputation, where tuition checks were bigger than some people's mortgages. A place where privilege was inherited like eye color, and certain last names carried more weight than test scores ever could. To most students, survival meant staying out of the spotlight. To one student in particular, it meant keeping her head down, grinding through honors classes, and praying the bullies didn't notice her. But bullies always notice. Amara Johnson had just stepped out of the science wing, her laptop tucked under one arm and a thick textbook in the other. She wasn't thinking about drama. She wasn't thinking about conflict. She was thinking about her chemistry quiz in third period. But the universe had a twisted sense of humor. Because standing dead center in the hallway, his frame blocking the path like a human barricade, was Blake Ryder. 6'3", broad shoulders, captain of the football team, with a smirk that could curdle milk. He was a trust fund kid with the confidence of someone who had never heard the word no. Worse, he had a reputation. If Blake picked you as a target, you were done. He'd humiliate you until the crowd laughed and then laughed harder when you cried. And today, his target was Amara. Well, Blake drawled, leaning one arm against the lockers as if the entire hallway was his personal stage. Look who wandered into the wrong neighborhood. A ripple went through the crowd. Students slowed their pace, some stopped entirely. Phones appeared like magic, ready to capture the spectacle. No one interfered. Everyone knew the rule. If Blake Ryder wanted a show, you gave him front row seats. Amara's grip tightened on her laptop. She wasn't in the mood. Not today. Amara tilted her chin, her dark eyes steady on Blake's smirking face. "You really don't want to do this," she said, her voice calm, too calm. Blake scoffed, his laugh echoing down the hallway. "Or what? You gonna run crying to a teacher? This is my school, Johnson. People like you don't belong here." Then came the shove, harder this time. Her shoulder slammed back against the locker, the metal rattling. Gasps swept the hallway. The crowd knew this wasn't just casual bullying anymore. This was a show, and Blake was daring her to play the victim. But Amara didn't stumble. She didn't even blink. She rolled her shoulders, exhaled slowly, and muttered, "All right, you asked for it." Her backpack slid off her shoulder, hitting the floor with a soft thud. Before Blake could react, bam! In one seamless move, Amara caught his arm, pivoted her body, and flipped him clean over her shoulder. The sound of his body slamming into the polished floor cracked through the silence. Phones snapped upward, recording. For the first time in his charmed life, Blake Ryder wasn't towering above anyone. He was flat on his back, staring at the ceiling, his pride shattered into shards too small to pick up. Silence. Then came the whispers. Then the shouts. Then the laughter. "Oh my God!" someone screamed. Another burst into laughter. Clapping echoed through the hallway. A few students high-fived. Someone yelled "World Star!" Amara adjusted her hoodie sleeve, stepping over him like he was nothing more than an obstacle. "Told you," she muttered, her tone casual, almost bored. The hallway erupted. Phones were everywhere. Blake groaned, rolling onto his side, his face red with fury and shame. His fists clenched, but his confidence had cracked wide open. By lunchtime, the entire school knew. Clips of the fight were already trending on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter under the caption, "Rich Kid Gets Wrecked by Black Girl at Ridgewood Academy." Amara had become an instant legend, but Blake wasn't humiliated. He was enraged, and he wasn't about to let the story end there. By the next morning, Ridgewood Academy wasn't just buzzing about the fight, it was obsessed. Students who had never spoken to Amara before now wanted to sit with her, ask questions, even beg her to teach her how she fought. To them, she was a mystery unraveled, a warrior hidden in plain sight. But not everyone was celebrating. Blake Ryder had spent years carefully crafting his throne at the top of Ridgewood's food chain. Years of intimidation, manipulation, and cruelty, all undone in seconds by one girl's strength. Now, instead of being feared, he was a meme, a punchline, and there was only one way to erase that humiliation: revenge. Amara should have seen it coming. Maybe if she hadn't been too busy dodging questions, high fives, and whispers of admiration, she would have noticed Blake's cold stare from across the cafeteria. Maybe she would have realized his 3 loyal sidekicks, Carter, Mason, and Tyler, were sticking closer than usual, their conversations hushed. But she didn't. So when her phone buzzed at lunch with a blocked number that read, "Meet me in the gym after school, no cameras, let's finish this," she knew exactly who it was, and she didn't hesitate. At 4:15 p.m., Amara pushed open the double doors to the empty gym. Championship banners swayed gently in the air-conditioned draft. Her sneakers squeaked faintly against the polished wood. She scanned the vast room, quiet, too quiet. Then the doors slammed shut behind her. A voice echoed, "Big mistake coming here, Johnson." Blake. He stepped from the shadows, flanked by his crew, 4 against 1. Amara's brow arched. Wow, must be real scary meeting backup to fight one girl. His jaw twitched. "Shut up." He took a step forward, then another, his voice darker now. "This isn't about fear." Amara folded her arms. "You mean revenge?" Blake smirked, eyes narrowing. "No, I mean making sure you never forget your place." Her stomach twisted. She'd heard that line before. Words meant to keep girls like her, students like her, in check. She drew a deep breath, forcing her fury down. Stay calm, stay focused. This wasn't over. Blake swung first, a wild, desperate punch fueled by anger, not skill. Amara sidestepped with ease, her eyes sharp. Amateur. Carter charged next, reckless, but she dropped low and swept his legs clean out from under him. He hit the floor hard. Tyler tried grabbing her from behind. Bad idea. She drove an elbow into his ribs. Crack! And he staggered away, gasping for air. Mason froze, uncertain. Big mistake. Amara pivoted and delivered a fierce kick to his chest. He flew backward, crashing down with a thud. 3 down, 1 left. Blake's face twisted with rage. He lunged, fists swinging wildly, sloppy, weak. Amara dodged them all, calm as stone. Then bam! A lightning-fast strike to his gut left him stumbling, choking for air. She seized his collar, yanked him down, and slammed him against the polished floor. The sound echoed through the gym. Blake groaned, stunned, his pride shattered beyond repair. Amara crouched low, her voice steady, dangerous. "Touch me again, and you'll regret it." Silence. His goons rhythmed on the ground, defeated. Blake lay broken, his reputation shattered beyond repair. By the next day, Ridgewood Academy had a new queen. No one feared Blake anymore. They feared Amara. No one whispered about her weakness. They whispered about her strength. And Blake, he learned the truth. Some people you just don't mess with. Did that hit you? Then subscribe to Unknown Stories. More powerful tales are coming soon.